video, we're going to be rearranging formula, and we're going to make x the subject of all these equations. So in the first one, we've got h equals 2xy. Now when we say make x the subject, what we mean is we want to get x on its own at the end. So we want x equals something. So I need to look at this. Now I've got my h on this side and I've got 2xy on that side. Now 2xy is the same as 2 times x times y. And I know I can change the order of those to make it easier for myself. So I've got 2 times x times y at the moment, but actually it would be much easier to get my x on its own to have 2 times y times x. Because then what I can do is put the 2y in brackets, and that gives me 3 parts. So I've got my h, my 2y, and my x. Of course, these two are multiplied together at the moment. If I want to get my x on its own, then I'm currently multiplying it by 2y. So all I need to do is divide it by 2y. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2y. So I've got h divided by 2y equals, and then 2yx divided by 2y is just going to be x. And there is my rearranged equation. So I'm going to rewrite that as x equals h over 2y. Okay, so in our second example, we've got h equals x divided by 2y. If I put my 2y in brackets, then I now have 3 separate parts of my equation again, my h, my x, and my 2y. So that means that I can manipulate this to get my x on its own. Currently, I'm dividing by 2y. So to get rid of that, I'm going to multiply by 2y. So that means on this side, I'm going to have 2y times h, and on this side, I'm going to have x. Now, we always put it into alphabetical order, so when you rewrite it in the form that we like, we'll have x equals 2hy. And we can do that because they're just multiplying by each other, so 2 times y times h is the same as 2 times h times y. If we look at the third example, we've got h equals y over 2x. Now I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this because the first way is slightly more complicated than the second way. But my first one I'm going to show you anyway. So I've got h equals y divided by 2x. So I'm going to make this one term. And I'm currently dividing by 2x, so I'm going to multiply by 2x. And do that to both sides. So I end up with 2hx equals y. Now I'm going to put that bit into brackets, the 2h, because I want my x on its own, and I'm going to divide by the 2h because I'm currently multiplying by it. And so I end up with x equals y over 2h. And that's that one rearranged. Now I'm going to show you my other way of doing it, and it's really easy if you use this method. So I'm going to draw my rearranging triangle. Remember, this horizontal line means divide and the vertical line means times. So I'm going to go back to my question, and I'm going to put in the top bit the numerator. So we've got h and we've got 2x. And because I want to find out what x is going to be, I want to rearrange it to get x, I cover up that bit so I can immediately see if I've got that bit covered up, that 2x equals y divided by h. So that's 2x equals y divided by h. Now, I want x on its own, so I'm going to have to divide both sides by 2. So on this side, I'm simply going to get x. But on this side, I'm going to have to do y over h divided by 2. Now we know that divide by 2 is the same as multiplying by a half. So it's much better for me if I write it that way. Multiply it by a half. And then I'm going to do numerator multiplied by the numerator, which is y, and denominator multiplied by the denominator, which is 2h. So I get my rearranged formula, and it's the same as my original answer.